Going down, everybody? Danny Golding just wanted to make a quick video. Today is a big football day, of course, and the Niners got the Cincinnati Bengals at home a little bit later. That is a must-win game, in my opinion, for the Niners after having lost two straight games to the Browns and to the Vikings. But I wanted to come on here and talk about how the Giants have hired Bob Melvin to be their next manager, which I think is an awesome move. Of course, they fired Gabe Kapler the last weekend of the season, and Bob Melvin was one of the names that came up in speculation as someone the Giants would want to hire, but of course he was still the manager of the San Diego Padres. I'm shocked that the Padres basically let him interview with the Giants and let him take the job. I'm shocked about that. I'm shocked that he didn't get officially fired. He didn't get fired by the Padres or anything, and they basically just let him take the interview with the Giants. But I'm happy about it nonetheless. Bob Melvin is a Bay Area lifer, born in Palo Alto, hey, just like me. Grew up in the Bay Area, grew up a Giants fan, all that. Played for them from 86 to 88. And he's been, before he became an actual manager, he was a coach on the Dbacks team that won the World Series in 2001 with Bob Brenly as a manager. And now I moved to Arizona in 2004. When I first got into sports and went to a lot of baseball games, Bob Melvin was managing the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2007. Of course, that was a team that had Eric Burns, Connor Jackson, Orlando Hudson, Chris Young, a team that won the NL West, and a team that was in the NLCS that beat the Cubs in the first round, the NLDS, and then lost to the Colorado Rockies in the NLCS. And I went to a lot of games that year, of course, and Bob Melvin was the manager, and he was a pretty damn good manager. He just was. And of course he managed the A's from 2011 to 2021, and then was the Padres manager the last couple of years. But more importantly, he's a manager that players want to play for. Now, Gabe Kapler, he may have been a cool guy, may have been obsessed with posting Instagram stories of certain restaurants in San Francisco and all that. That's all great, but Bob Melvin is actually a baseball manager that players respect and players want to play for. Gabe Kapler just was not that. But so I'm super excited about the Giants hiring Bob Melvin as their manager. I think that's going to be the right turn that the organization should go into. But speaking of the Arizona Diamondbacks, my hometown team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, are in the World Series, of course, for the first time since 2001. They swept the Brewers in the new first-round series and then swept the Dodgers in the NLDS. And I actually attended Game 3 of that series because I wanted to see the Dodgers lose, and I sure did. That did not disappoint. That was awesome. And, of course, they were down 2-0 to the Phillies in the NLCS, and they ended up winning that series in 7 games, and that was an incredible series. And I was happy they did that as well because Philly fans, not my favorite type of fans. But anyway, so the D-backs, of course, they're 1-1 with the Texas Rangers in the World Series. Of course, the Rangers as well have, of course, Bruce Bochy as their manager, the manager that won the Giants 3 World Series in 5 years. Of course, retired after the 2019 season. A lot of people thought he got run out of town. I don't necessarily think that. I know he needed to spend some time with his family, needed some time off, so well, glad he was able to do that and then come back. I did not want to see him come back if he was going to manage the Dodgers or anything, but if he was going to manage a team that's in the American League like the Texas Rangers, got no problem with that, and I'm just thrilled with all the success that he's had as manager of the Texas Rangers. Of course, the Rangers won Game 1 on a walk-off, and the D-backs last night won the game 9-1. So the series is tied 1-1. I would not be upset either way. I would not be upset if the Rangers and Bruce Bochy won, but I am going to root for the D-backs. I do want to see them get a title. I have a lot of friends who are Diamondback fans, and they have a loyal fan base, and they just have an incredible, fun team to watch with Torey Lovullo as their manager. They got Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll, who's just an absolute beast, Alec Thomas. They got the former Giant Evan Longoria on their team, and Longo. He's in his second World Series, the first one being in 2008 with the Tampa Bay Rays, where they lost to the Phillies, a series I remember pretty well. So it's good to see Evan Longoria, who was a pretty good player with the Giants, get into the World Series and have a chance to win his first World Series after a long career. And they're pitching with Brandon Pfaadt, Merrill Kelly, Kevin Ginkel is pretty damn good as well. So the D-backs, they got a hell of a team, and I really do hope they win this World Series. It'll be cool for my state of Arizona to finally get another World Series, because of course the only title in Arizona sports history was in 2001 when the D-backs beat the Yankees, which I was only 4 years old during that, and obviously I still lived in the Bay Area, but I know that was one of the greatest World Series of all time. And just it being after September 11th, the September 11th attacked just a couple months earlier, basically, heck, less than a couple months earlier. I know that World Series was just epic with the whole atmosphere in New York and everything, with George Bush throwing out the first pitch, and I believe it was, I'm not sure what game of the World Series that was, but that, I believe that was Game 3, because the D-backs would have had home field advantage because their Game 7 was in Arizona. So yeah, that would have been Game 3 where George Bush threw out the first pitch. And a lot of people said there were a lot of similarities to this World Series because, of course, George Bush, being a former part owner of the Texas Rangers, threw out the first pitch in Game 1. So there's a lot of similarities to that, and the D-backs 2023 team seems to be a lot similar to their 2001 team. So again, I'm hoping that they win the World Series, but not only for those reasons, I also, just for fun, placed a $10 bet on them winning the World Series just a couple months ago, and the bet is payable by $510. So $500 would be in my pocket, courtesy of DraftKings, if the D-backs were able to pull off this World Series. But anyway, just wanted to chime in on baseball real quickly. Super stoked about the Giants hiring Bob Melvin to be their manager, and this Rangers D-backs World Series is great. And let's go Niners. Let's get this win today. Whether it's Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold starting, hopefully they get the win. It looks like Purdy is going to play. I kind of did not want that to happen just because of since he's in concussion protocol, you don't want to make his concussion worse. You want to have Purdy healthy for the entire season because you need him to win the Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold, heck, he can. The Bengals are a good team. I'm not going to say that, but Sam Darnold could still, in this Kyle Shanahan offense, can get a win against a much needed win at home, I think. And I think winning this game against the Bengals or not, I did say it was a must-win game, but the more important thing is to have Purdy healthy for this entire year so the Niners can make a legit Super Bowl run. So anyway, that's all I got. Danny Golding TV is out. Peace.